campaign, I want to introduce CI/CD for software development. So let's talk about making stuff first. A painting is finished, we frame it and maybe we hang on the wall. A table is assembled, we placed in the room and sit around it to enjoy a nice dinner. A house is established, we move in, make it our home. A software is released, what are we gonna do with it? We run it, and quite often we find some new features we need but we didn't know before. We run it, and some features are not working properly, so we need to fix them. We run it, everything's working fine, but one of the dependency got updated, so we have to update our software as well. We run it, and everything working fine, but our company is making new stuff, so we have to add a new feature to our software. We run it, everything works perfectly, it works so well that everyone wants to use it, so now we have to scale up the software so it can accommodate more users. Those situations simply won't happen that often with other stuff. For example, we won't ask artists to repaint the painting after purchased it. Not often we'll ask a designer to make the table larger after put it in our room. Even less cases we'll break down the wall for our house because we want a new bathroom. We won't do it most of the time because it is just cost too much or it is just simply impossible. However, software is different because it's a virtual product. We will continue to make release for the stuff we mentioned before. We want new features, we want the fixes, we want updates. We need to scale up or scale our software. However, making change easier doesn't mean it's always cheap and possible. For example, what if we don't understand software anymore because it is built a long time ago with another team? The code is not well organized, so it makes it very hard to make any change. There's no proper test or testing costs too much, so it is not safe for us to making change because we don't know if the change will break the software, or the software just has its life cycle. New technologies comes out, or the people just want different thing. However, we cannot avoid changes because software always requires changes unless the people don't use it anymore. However, even changes are inevitable, but if we can keep these points in mind, we'll make it easier. We always plan to accommodate changes. We organize our code and architecture. We build proper and cheaper tests in early stages. We keep the release cycle shorter so we can get feedback as soon as possible. So here comes the idea of CI/CD. CI stands for continuous integration, which means making the code change easier and standardized so we can introduce new features and fix it easier and safer. It helps us to accommodate changes, organize our code, and build proper and cheaper tests. CD stands for continuous delivery or continuous deployment. That makes us to do smaller and faster release so we can get feedback sooner than later. It helps to keep release cycle shorter and to get the feedback from our stakeholder as soon as possible. So CI focuses on tracking the state of software development using Jira or tools, collaboration, and code review, keeping the code with good qualities with testing, automation of the working flow with the CI/CD tools like Travis or Jenkins, preparing for the release. CD focuses on one build and it fixes multiple releases on different environments. It focuses on one direction promoting the changes from feature branch to development to staging to production. Automation for deployment with tagging and version control, test and get feedbacks with feature flag or feature toggles. So with CI/CD, now we know changes coming, so we build our code to accommodate them. We only make smaller changes one at a time. We have proper tests to help us to make sure the changes are safe for our software. We have different environments so we can test and share the release independently. We get feedback sooner than later so we can make changes for our stakeholder easier and accommodate their requirements. So thank you so much for listening to my presentation. If you have any problem or questions, please contact me with my email. Thank you so much.